So I thought we might try something a little bit different today. As you'll be able to tell from the intro, this is just a little bit of an insight into the work that's going on behind the scenes for our 2 days away at Croft with James Whittam, which I am very, very excited for. Already done one session with him back in May, which was brilliant, and we've got a lot to learn still, but there's no better place to learn. So I've been putting in a lot of work, and we're going to do a full conversion on the bike today into a race bike. So we'll be able to see a bit of a before and after. Here's a bit of an insight into my workspace, very neatly organised as you'd expect. We've got all of these new one-piece fairings, which are very nice. Got them from a German company, so the plastic itself is ABS mould, and then at all of the joints where the bolts and such are going to go in, we've got this carbon fibre Kevlar composite. So if we do have enough, it isn't going to trash these. And the hope with these is they're cheaper than the fairings I've actually got on the bike at the moment, so I sort of don't really mind if these do get a little bit battered because they're just plain white. Speaking of which, we've got these 410 ratchet straps that are apparently very good for strapping bikes down. I guess we'll see. Here's the lower fairings, yet to unpack those, but same again, ABS plastic, carbon fibre joints on them. And then, of course, we've got the ramp for loading in and out. I am very nervous to see how I'm going to be able to load the bike in and out of the van myself without dropping it. Once again, it might be a case of relying on the kindness of strangers.
Lowers are off, and we can see it as the SV originally would have been without the lowers and just that top fairing, and we can see that V-twin in all its glory. Now let's get the top ones off.
Into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
So you join me back in my office, having not completed all of the work that I intended to. There were a few little bits that were more difficult than we'd previously anticipated. The key one being the fairing, the rear fairing, so where the pillion seat would be. The one that comes on the bike stock splits into two, so you can take it off either side, whereas the new one that I've gotten is just one piece and does not have much flex in it. So it really took some convincing, and we basically, the bracket that is on the subframe, we've had to bend into there to get it on. But I tell you what, it's not going to come off. It's on there. It's definitely on strong. Finally manage to get the front end on. Did have to take out the sort of black plastic where the rev meter goes into. Obviously, the rev meter unit is still in there. We've just had to take out the bits that go around it, but that's just extra weight reduction there. By the time we'd finished that, it was starting to drizzle a little bit and the daylight was going, so we called it a day there. Not to mention, we can get the lower fairings on. That's all we've got to do now, is we can get the lower fairings on, but the crash bungs that go on, we're going to need to drill a bigger hole, because obviously crash bungs, they're quite sort of quite wide, so we need a bigger drill bit to be able to get those on. Once that's done, it's finished. But tune in again in a few days, and we'll be sorting out those final few bits, and we'll be able to have a full reveal of what the race bike looks like.
lowers are on and fit really nice and snug. All we've got left to do now is get the visor fitted and the conversion is complete.
So we've put some fresh oil in, some Moto semi-synthetic, let it get up to temperature for a bit, and then just took it out for a little spin to make sure everything is on solid. And yeah, it's worked really nicely. I wasn't too sure about the screen because these bolts here that originally used for fitment have these little rubber grommets that go in, and they're what keeps it in. Luckily, I've got a variety of random nuts and bolts which I've been able to fiddle in. And took it for a little spin and the vibrations haven't taken it out, so that's always good. Likewise with these bolts here, took a little bit of convincing. Obviously there's a degree of tolerance in the manufacturing, so had to bend things a little bit to get them into place, but they're in real tight and they've stayed in tight, and this is now solid. Crash bungs in as well. The one area I was maybe a bit concerned about, you can see it through here, is if you can see those 4 bolts right there that just hold the belly pan together. I was worried that they probably weren't going to stay together, but they have, very solidly. If we go around to the back, this is the bit that is never going to come off because it was so difficult to get this over the subframe here, but we've gotten it done. Sorry, I'm just taking my phone case off so you can get a little bit of a better look without that fabric in the corner. Looks nice. Now we've just got to think about what sort of design do we want to do. If anyone's got any suggestions, I think we've got to stick with the blue and the white, haven't we? So obviously we still got the original fuel tank on. Idea being that the crash bungs and the foot pegs are on, and the exhaust is what's going to slide on the ground, not the tank. So this tank should be all right. And I've got these tank pads on here, which, as you know, you can't take them off and put them on a different tank. So I've just left them as they are, and at least it means it has got a little bit of colour to it, and the Suzuki badge. But yeah, should we try and replicate the old blue and the white from the stock? Or do we maybe try to do something a little bit different? I've got an airbrush, albeit for models, but I'm thinking, you know, could we do some masking tape on here and do some sort of little design there? But let me know your thoughts if anyone's got any ideas. But it's definitely looking like the real deal. It's just a shame I've still got these enormous cans on, but the hope is, eventually, is to take these downpipes here, essentially run them up like shotguns here, underneath the seat, so instead of being down like that, you'll have one can there, you know, like a Panigale, looking mint. So, nice. Just under a week now. First session's on Tuesday, second session's on Wednesday. Tuesdays are going to be more of a warm-up, and then we're going to give it some beans on the Wednesday. I know a few people are going to come down to say hi. I look forward to seeing you there. Hope you have fun. It's a really fun day out, and there's loads of great guys there. You know, obviously James Whittam, but you get a variety of other BSB guys there and such. All nice guys, easy to talk to. Garage is open, pit lane's open. So yeah, you can come along, have a laugh, take some pictures, have some food at the cafe, which is now open and is decently priced as well. Good food. So I'd absolutely recommend it. But yeah, I'll leave it off at that. Hope you've enjoyed this little bit of an insight into the work that's gone on behind the scenes on this bike. The only thing I've got left to do now is replace that rear tyre. In fact, I'll show the rear tyre. I mean, the side is marbled, which isn't that bad. There's still some more rubber to use there. But because I've been riding it on the road a lot, you can see that this is flattened out and it's starting to sort of flake and degrade. Yeah, as I was saying, you can see here that the rubber's, well, it's at the legal limit, but it's starting to degrade a little bit, and it doesn't give you the best feedback when you're riding because you can see it's sort of squared off there. So once you get onto this part of the tyre, the feedback's great, but it's getting from there to there and getting over the corner of it. That's not particularly nice. But lucky for me, the James Whittam guys have got their own tyre supplier, so there's going to be big van full of Metzlers. so we can switch over to some fresh rubber, and that will give us a chance to rip it a bit harder as well, and should just make the feedback feel a little bit better. The front end on this isn't really that bad, but I'm going to replace both anyway, because if I just replace the rear, then that's just going to push on the front, and that won't feel particularly nice. So we'll replace the two of them, take 2 laps to bed those in, start to push them a little bit more, lay some rubber down, and yeah, we should be able to push some rubber off the side of the tyre, get some good feedback off it. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this insight. For those of you who are coming down next Tuesday or Wednesday, I look forward to seeing you there. It'll be a good day out, and I will be putting together something of a vlog there as well, which I can upload. For those of you who don't come, if you want to have a little look at what it's like on track, if you're interested in getting into that sort of thing, you can have a watch through and see what you think. But yeah, it's a good laugh. It's absolutely canny. With that, I'll head out now. But yeah, see you guys later.